show. You are watching NRL from the Sidelines with Tom, Brian and Steve. And as I said last week, what we do every week is we go over the games of the NRL round and we talk about those games that are coming up. Let me introduce the panel here. This is Tom. Tom, how are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
Good. And Brian?
Fantastic, thank you, Steve.
Excellent. Now, as I did say last week, one of the things that we do is we talk, we are rather biased towards our teams and we try not to have that come our way and affect what we do. And
Copycats.
But if it comes across as being a bit biased, we apologise, but we're going to try and be fair to all teams, aren't we, Brian?
Yes.
And Tom, we're going to try and give time to all teams, correct?
As usual.
As usual, okay. Well, let's get started. Gentlemen, round one of the NRL started off with great promise until a ball was kicked for all three of us.
Oh, well, we're talking about a game that doesn't involve our three teams, so let's just...
I'm talking about rounding off the season first, starting the season. Go with me, I'm comparing.
Okay.
Now, geez, you're hard to get along with. Let's talk about the first game, St George versus the Broncos. Tom?
Yes.
Did you see that sort of a scoreline? 34-12?
No. I changed my tip to the Dragons from the Broncos.
Why are you shaking your head?
Why? Because I've got the Dragons in my top 8, sitting around about 6th, and you guys both wrote them off. And now all of a sudden,
hang on, I had them in my top 8 as well.
I'm just telling that I got a tip because I changed my tip.
Oh,
I originally thought the Broncos would win.
Listen, I really had your hat, by the way.
I love it. Thank you.
Speaking of, yes. So I didn't see that kind of scoreline coming. Not at all. I thought it would be much more even. I actually didn't think the Dragons would play that well, as well as they did, and I didn't think the Broncos would play that badly, and so I thought the score would be closer. But the Broncos just dropped ball, and it's been well quoted in all the media. Milford and Nikorima, it's like oil and water. They're just not combining well. Milford's doing nothing.
They're two play what's in front of your halfbacks, and they need an organiser, which they don't have.
Yeah. And unfortunately, they sold off Ben Hunt because at the time he wasn't doing what he's promising he can do at the Dragons.
Yeah. So where does that leave them? I mean,
the Broncos.
The Broncos. Does it anyone else to come in?
They've got no one else.
They've got no one coming. Well, Bird will come back and he'll probably play in the halves, and they'll probably shift Nikorima to the bench. I would think.
Bird isn't organising half either. He's a player what's in front of you. An old-time footballer.
I mean, the other alternative is you bring Boyd into the halves,
which has been mooted.
Yeah.
So tell me, St George, you were worried. I got to say, after the Charity Shield, I was a little bit worried about what they would do, but I got to say they were impressive.
Yeah, they were strong across the park.
Yep,
absolutely.
Yeah, they sort of put together all the good things that they've had in the last couple of seasons, and had a bit of organisation with Ben Hunt, who surprised me after the trial. He was a lot better than he'd been in the trial.
Combined well with Widow. Yep.
Okay, let's move on. The first game on Friday night. Newcastle Knights against Manly. Knights winning 19-18.
Heartbreaking.
It would have been heartbreaking. I could imagine.
Because we've had this discussion before. Anyone out there, who's new? But we've had this discussion before. Golden Point is just a borathon. I want extra time. I want to see 10 minutes each way extra time, 5 minutes each way extra time. Let's get something going here, because it just it was a missed kickathon. It was who gets the best field position, and then a lucky fluky penalty, and then you're away.
Yep.
So overall though the game, Manly only completed at 67%, and when you complete at 67%, you don't deserve to win games. I thought the Knights were good, but I didn't think they had to work very hard for it. Too many drop balls. I think it wasn't until the middle of the second half where they actually had to work to get out of their half, because every time they were in their half they got a penalty. The penalties I think at half time was 6-2 or something. It was just a game that was built for Newcastle, and I'm happy to say that I'm glad that even though my team lost, they competed the full time. 67% possession, again terrible. However, they had 4-5 disallowed tries. and I think that they will be much more competitive next week.
And Tom, how do you feel about Mitchell Pearce kicking that?
I was backing him all the way because I think it was terrible what my team allowed to happen to Mitchell. I mean, he made a choice, but they didn't make it easy for him to stay. And I've always been a Pearce fan, and I think it was great that he was able to kick the field goal because when it was getting to golden point, I thought he's the man.
Yeah.
In the Knights team, he's the man who has to step up and do it, and he did for a change because people have been disappointed with him before. But I actually thought the Sea Eagles were the better team for 40, 50 minutes. And I kept remarking in my own mind, geez, what a great set of forwards this team's got. And they seemed to be proving it at the time. And then all of a sudden, the Knights who were in disarray, going, we're all new, we don't know how to play together, just suddenly found a bit of mojo.
Can I just say, when that moment was, it was when Brock Lamb came on.
Yes. He was different.
He threw something different into the mix. Now, don't get me wrong. The young hooker Slade Griffin,
Griffin,
fantastic player. But Brock Lamb has got to be in that starting team.
I thought Connor Watson was disappointing.
I thought he was okay.
Oh, I thought he was disappointing.
He didn't offer a lot. But just on that too, Steve, did you watch the game, Steve?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What did you think of Lachlan Croker?
I can't say I thought much. I can't look. I honestly can't say I remember much of what he did.
Yeah.
But mind you, I don't think you've got a player who's got flair like Daly Cherry Evans.
Who was in everything, yeah.
Who was in everything. I think you just need an organiser. Manly's problem the other day against Newcastle was they let Green go to the Warriors. Green would
have let in 4 tries, and Croker was really solid in defence.
I saw a couple of fundamental areas in Croker's game that were very, very important in the game.
You obviously weren't watching the same game.
I was watching the same game.
Anyway, he'll get better for the one run that he's had with us. Thank you.
So it's not cricket.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to North Queensland's game 1-300 Smiles Stadium. North Queensland beat the Cronulla Sharks 20-14. Tom, has the bubble burst for the Sharks? Because I tell you, I really wasn't impressed. North Queensland scored two very quick tries. Now, and yes, Sharks came back, but I never thought the Sharks were going to win. They never looked like they were going to step over the top.
I didn't think either team were that impressive, honestly. I think the Cowboys were better, but I don't think they were the Cowboys of old. They weren't the Cowboys of old. I mean, look. Wow. Completion 66%, 62% completion. Yep. That is not a good result from either team.
No.
They miss Luke Lewis.
Yep.
Valentine Holmes is definitely not a fullback, and he proved it. He made some really bad decisions. Dropped a couple of balls.
Can I just say
a couple of bombs?
I actually think that's a bit harsh on Valentine Holmes. To be honest.
That's okay. You're allowed to.
You say he's not a fullback. You know what? He had a really bad game. I think if they switch that team around now, I don't think that's a good move for the team. Now, mind you, in saying that, the young winger broke his jaw. So
Katoa, yep.
Yeah, Katoa, that's his name. Yes. So perhaps they do need to find a winger, but geez, to move him out of fullback after one game where his confidence was crushed after dropping a bomb, I think that's harsh.
How many tries he scored as a winger compared to a fullback? And yes, he spent much more time in winger than he fullback. He's such an electric fullback. I mean, as a winger, people are saying that he's possibly the world's best winger.
Oh, people, what you?
Well, maybe he's not the world's best winger, but
you and the voices in your head.
But he's an exceptional winger, and yet to be proven a fullback and making lots of mistakes. And do the Sharks have enough time where they have a ready-made fullback in waiting? Well, two of them. Okay. Moylan and Dugan.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I think the problem with the Sharks was their halves again. Moylan is the kind of player who needs the ball, needs to have time, do what he does. He's a great footballer. However, Townsend is the established halfback. He got the ball, 5 out of 6. So if he's not getting the ball through to Moylan, he's making his own decisions, and I thought the team played badly for it. So I actually thought the problem again was in the halves. I thought the forwards are quite evenly matched. And just on forwards, comment came out today. Gavin Cooper says that the Cronulla Sharks are grubby because, you ready for this?
Yeah.
They targeted Scott Bolton after
Matt Scott.
after he's come back from the
ACL.
ACL. Yeah, they targeted him. Can you believe it? They targeted him. I thought, I'll pull your head in, really? You know what? North Queenslanders are just a protected species. I tell you, that State of Origin game where Thurston was playing with one shoulder. Oh, you know what? They should have run
We're
out.
move on.
Oh, jeez, it makes me mad.
Down, boy.
All right,
Down.
sorry. Yes.
Okay, let's move on to ANZ Stadium. The West Tigers against the Sydney Roosters. West Tigers winning 10-8. Tom?
So we sat and watched that game together.
We did. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to vent.
I don't need long. Look, I think first thing to say was defence on both sides was very good.
Exactly.
Very few points scored. It was a real tug of war in the middle of the game, middle of the ground. I was extremely surprised at how well the Tigers muscled up, because they're known as a team that have thrown the ball around and leak points like a sieve.
Yep.
Well, they certainly something seems to have happened in the off season if this is the standard of play that they're going to have. The Roosters' problem was they didn't throw anything at them in attack.
But in defence of the Roosters, the Tigers didn't throw a lot in attack either. So I think your defence can be exceptionally good when neither team is actually attacking all that well.
Look, I watched the majority of this game, and I
glad to hear that.
won't say I watched it all because, let's face it, it was the Roosters and they're a yawn. But they were actually playing yawn football. They were playing one out, forward hit up, one out, forward hit
It
up.
was very disappointing.
You know what? Can I ask you a question, Steve, if you watched that game?
Yes,
not you. Who was the Roosters' best player? Because I'm leaning towards Blake Ferguson. And if your winger is the best player on the park, you've got issues.
I actually think Cordner probably was.
What, because he started on the bench?
Well,
Which is it? So I'll save that, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually think he had a good game. Very disappointing in Tedesco. He had a very average game.
Yes.
I think Cooper Cronk tried, but just didn't get the support. A number of times he made a break and there was no support for him at all, or was able to somehow get through the line, maybe not a full break, but able to get through.
Yep.
There was no one following him up.
And we made lots of errors, and our completion rate was terrible. So look, I'm just hoping that they need time to gel. Plus, Luke Keary is not there, and he was sensational last year, and I think that's important.
Yep.
Look, I don't disagree. I mean, we have to be fair. The first round of every season,
Throws
teams
up
have to gel.
He's saying that because we're moving to the next game.
Well, just one last thing on that game. Corey Thompson,
Yes.
welcome back to the NRL. He's a star.
Always a
The
fan.
Bulldogs should never have let him go. Look, a little bloke can play footy, and he proves it over and over again.
Always been a fan.
There you go.
Okay, let's move on to the double header at Perth Stadium, where the South Sydney Rabbitohs were beaten by the Warriors 32-20.
Double yawn fest. I'll let you talk, Steve.
Excuse me, did you watch the game, Brian?
Don't need to.
So what actually happened after 10 minutes?
After 10 minutes, we fell asleep. Now, let me say, and I'll be fair, Tedesco, I said, for the Roosters was poor, and Johnson was poor for South at fullback. And I'm not convinced he's a fullback yet. He's a good winger, he's a great finisher, but that fullback defensive position, that being in the right spot at the right time, to me, it just was not there for him at all.
Cody Walker
Was gone. I don't know
5 minutes at the beginning,
Yeah.
5 minutes at the end. I didn't know where he went to.
Yeah. Look, there are a number of South players that I just don't think were switched on for the game. Now, whether it was complacency or what it was, but I just didn't think they were there. But can we talk the Warriors for a bit?
Yeah.
They were good. They were running hard. They've got a big pack. They've got a big set of backs.
Yep.
And I've got to tell you, I was quite impressed. I mean, I admit South didn't throw a lot at them, but I was quite impressed with what the Warriors did.
They seem to have a different attitude. I mean, even down to when they scored the try, you saw them in the huddle,
Yep.
and they're doing this deep breathing or closing their eyes, and they're all sort of, breathing in and out, and it's sort of very zen. But they also look trim.
They looked fit. That's what I was going to say. They looked fit.
Isaac Luke looked the best he's looked in since you won the grand final.
Yeah. Obviously playing for a new contract.
Right.
He's a cynic.
I am a cynic. Of course I'm a cynic. Isaac Luke's done nothing for 3 years, and then all of a sudden he comes out and has the best game he's had.
But it looks like the whole team is...
They all played well. Yeah. Sean Johnson played well.
Yeah.
Roger played well.
Roger got back to some of his best. That first tackle on the line that saved that try, when he rolled into the corner, that was absolutely brilliant.
It was.
Yeah.
But South dropped far too much ball.
Yeah.
And defensively, for some reason, again, out through the middle, I thought they were fine. It was on the edges. They got caught out all the time. So
dare we say it again, Blake Green. He was good.
No.
Blake Green was excellent.
See, he doesn't have to be a standout.
No.
He just has to provide the ball to his half. And that's what he was doing last year, and that's what he's doing this year.
For any listeners out there, feel free to back me up on this.
All right, how about we do this?
Back you up on what? Say it.
Blake Green offers nothing.
Okay, I tell you what. Here, let's do this. How about everyone who's watching this go to NRL from the Sidelines on our Facebook page, and yes, back up, and tell us what you think of Blake Green.
Just Blake Green.
Yeah, just Blake Green, and nothing nasty.
No.
You know, whether you think he's a good player, whether you think Brian's right, but he rarely ever is. So
hey, look, all I'm saying is good, solid first grader wouldn't make it in a lot of teams.
I think he'd make it in most teams.
He made your team better,
Yep.
and potentially he's going to make this team better as well.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
we'll see.
Okay, let's move on. Second game of the doubleheader in Perth was Canterbury Bulldogs against the Storm, and Storm running out winners 36-18. Expected scoreline, Brian, but what did you think of the Dogs?
Wow, vastly improved.
Vastly improved.
You know, Dean Pay, I've got to take my hat off to him.
Can you take your hat off for all
See,
this?
the thing is, your coach Steve had input into who was coming to the club. He's been there. He's been part of the coaching team, and he can take some responsibility for that team. Dean Pay came in, no signings since he's arrived.
Yep.
That is the team he was given, and compared to last year, vastly improved.
They threw the ball around. They were excited.
Yep.
Tom Moses Mbai at fullback.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic.
We said it all last year. He's a better fullback than he is a half.
Found a position. Raymond Fatala Mariner.
Yeah.
He had that barnstorming game.
Yep.
And Cassiano lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. He didn't get a lot of ball time though.
No, he
He
didn't.
didn't get too much.
Geez, he looks fit.
He does.
He looks very fit. But I got to say, Melbourne just did what Melbourne do.
Yeah.
You know,
frustrating.
They're just good.
It is frustrating.
Brian, it is frustrating. Why'd you look at it that way?
I looked at Tom.
Why?
I wanted him to disagree, but
No, it is. I mean, look, it's jealousy. It's jealousy because they are so good.
Question.
And they just seem to always.
question without notice.
Without notice, yes, go on.
When is a penalty not a penalty?
You need to elaborate on that.
Okay. Storm kicking off. 4 players offside. Ref says, you, all offside. Restart. Hello? Why did the Storm get that benefit?
Mm-hmm.
You're offside from the kickoff.
I've got to say, I didn't see that part.
Oh my goodness.
Don't remember.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't watch the game, no, sure, but no, I watched a lot of the game, and I've just gone, what? How the, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, and there was at one point the Bulldogs got back-to-back penalties, and referee Smith had a chat to the referee, had to chat to the other referee, the pirate ref. Melbourne get the next 3.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is why I don't like the Storm.
Yeah.
It seems like there's another set of rules for what they do and the way they play, and that kickoff one was a perfect example. Go and have a look at it because the ref actually says 1, 2, 3, 4 offside restart.
Yeah. No, it should be,
oh my goodness! I certainly hope we get that benefit at some point during the year.
I didn't see it, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. All right.
Okay, let's move on to Sunday's games. First game of the afternoon was Penrith Panthers against Parramatta Eels.
Braddles, I was ready to call you at half time and say,
Told you so.
You're
That's
gone.
what I was going to say.
I was going to say, the Eels are up 14-0, Brad. You're in a lot of trouble. Glad I didn't.
One Blake comes back from a shoulder reconstruction.
Yep.
And has a blinder, and you have to think that's a turning point in the game.
Yeah.
You know, they score some points, they're going 8 points down instead of 14 points down, and they start to think, you know what,
So,
we're not
I thought Kickout was a bit of a standout.
Well, in the second half for sure,
Yep.
but that try before half time of Wonga Blake, who solo, he took it from 20 metres out, he broke through 2 or 3 tackles, and then had to reach out for the line. That was inspirational.
Yep.
So what happened at half time for did Parramatta switch on or Parramatta switch off?
Oh, they went to the wrong dressing rooms.
Or both.
Well, I asked Bradley what they injected into their oranges because something was different when they came out. That there was talk that Parramatta got gassed in the first half. I don't know why it works for one and not the other.
Yep. Just another question. Let's see. We've mentioned a couple of players there, but you know who I thought was the standout player of that match was Dylan Edwards.
Yeah.
I think he saved probably 4 or 5 tries. Just putting his body on the line in the right spot. He does things right.
I told you. Whether he plays a lot or a
Tom's a font of all knowledge.
every now I say this, he's going to play Origin. I don't know whether he'll play. He'll be the number 1 Origin player, but he will get a gig in Origin at some point.
Gee, there's a lot of good fullbacks. That's a big call.
Yeah. Right. Well, I said about Ewan Aitken, and now his name's being thrown up.
Oh, you said it about Ewan Aitken.
3 years ago.
We all said it about Ewan Aitken 3 years ago. He's just had 3 dodgy years since.
I put him in my team about 3 years ago.
I was close to putting.
Joking, aren't you?
I was close to putting him in my team.
All right, let's move on. Cbus Super Stadium, Gold Coast Titans against the Raiders. The Titans winning 30-28. Gentlemen, I've got to ask the question, did you actually see this game?
Yep.
Did.
Wow, I thought 14
12
was a bad comeback.
12 minutes into the game,
wow.
Raiders are leading 18-0.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, and honestly, Titans looked shot. They were being torn apart by the Raiders. I mean, honestly, 12 minutes in, 18-0. I don't know how they managed to get back to win 30-28, but they did it.
The Raiders. I think the Raiders have got a head problem at the moment. They've got an attitude problem,
Which they had last year as well.
Yeah,
I think.
They've got a rush of blood, and they're fantastic at their best. But I think they get complacent, and I think they just drop the ball. I noticed that they're a lot fitter. I mean, you look at Paulo, you look at Papali, and who was the other person? It's Shannon Boyd. Man, they trimmed down.
Yes.
They really looked like they'd worked hard in the off season. But the other thing I noticed is that nearly every game we've looked at, the completions have been generally 70 and below. So that's clearly a sign of rustiness.
Combinations.
Yeah. And like we said, round 1, it's always going to happen, and there's always going to throw up a lot of upsets. And this weekend there's been a lot of upsets.
So how many did you in the tips?
4.
No, you got 5.
5. Oh, 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I only got
4. 5. Yeah. Oh, look, I didn't do too badly. I mean, and I was on the Titans, and this is the one that I changed right at the end and went, you know what? No, I'm going to go Raiders.
Well,
you know what? It's because I like the look. When I had a look at the team and I saw Blake Austin on the bench, I thought, oh wow, that's a masterstroke. He's going to come in and play half hooker. He's going to carve this game up. It didn't happen.
No, and he started.
I hate it when they don't play the team list as they should. Anyway, that's my fantasy league gripe. Not that you guys play fantasy league, but yeah.
So is there any point in doing the ladder, gentlemen?
Oh, of course there is.
Yeah. Okay, because our teams are coming equal second. You understand that, don't you?
Equal second.
Equal
Oh,
second.
jeez, you suck at this.
They've got to be consistent. We're going to read the ladder.
Okay, Tom, read the ladder.
All right, okay. So it's just refreshing.
Yes.
First position, Dragons.
Barry, you should be happy.
Yes. Enjoy while it lasts. Storm in second. Warriors in third. The Panthers fourth. The Cowboys fifth. West Tigers, they should take a photo of that, in sixth. The Titans in seventh.
You're a harsh man.
The Knights in eighth. Then we have the Seagulls.
1 point out of the 8. That's it, I've made my point.
You lost.
1 point out of the 8.
We all lost. Seagulls in ninth. Raiders in 10th, Roosters in 11th, Sharks in 12th, Eels in 13th, Rabbitohs in 14th, Bulldogs in 15th, and the Broncos bringing up the rear in 16th.
Can I call them donkeys because they're coming dead last?
No, because we had one. Because, like I said, they come in the same position you are, and Tom is.
No, they're donkeys. They're last.
Gentlemen, I want to ask a question. I want a prediction for the year.
Bold prediction?
A bold prediction. Something. I was going to say outrageous, but.
No. Here's my bold prediction, Steve.
Yes.
Been thinking about this while we've been talking.
Okay.
First coach sacked.
Yes.
Trent Robinson.
That is bold.
I'll tell you
When I
why.
say bold, I don't mean outrageously, unbelievably stupid.
No, I'll tell you why. 6
Why?
years at the Roosters and he's done not much. Particularly over the last 3 or 4. They've bought unbelievably. Like we all know that the Roosters no longer have a cat but a gazebo out the back. And we
know that because they bought Kurt Baptiste and the Raiders couldn't afford him, but the
Yeah.
Roosters can.
on top of Tedesco and Cronk and everyone else. So my bold prediction is that the Roosters will totally flying against what I said last show. The Roosters will slide down to the bottom end of the 8, not make the grand final, and Trent will get the bullet.
All right.
So you mean at the end of the season, not during the season?
No,
not
first.
during-
I thought you said first.
Yeah.
Second.
Well, sorry. Yeah, he will be sacked.
Okay. All right. Tom, you got one for me?
Yes, I do. This show will be picked up by a major sponsor, and we will get some kind of YouTube online award. And keep watching and send in your feedback.
Well, I love Tom's prediction. My prediction sucks compared to his.
Actually, his is more outrageous than yours.
It's called deflection from Trent Robinson being sacked.
Oh dear. Well, I know which one is more likely.
Steve, your bold prediction.
Yes.
New South Wales to win State of Origin 3-0.
Oh, jeez.
I'll take 2-1. Seriously.
I'm going to say
that's the New South Wales attitude. We'll take 2-1.
Yeah.
No, 3-0, Steve.
Hey, 2-1's
3-0, Steve.
yeah, we're not concluding.
That
Chook doesn't have
That is
fists.
really creepy.
Okay. Do you like that?
I do like that.
There you go.
I do like that.
Gentlemen, we're going to move on to next week's games, round number 2 of the NRL.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, by the way, anyone who wants to go on Facebook, go to our Facebook page, NRL from the Sidelines, and put down your bold prediction. Bradley,
Bold.
Barry, who else we got there on that? Bren, let us know what your bold predictions are and put them on Facebook. We'd love to know.
Now, just so we know, there are like 19 or 20 people that regularly follow and like our pages and
Yes,
posts,
believe it or not.
but only 3 that you ever post, so the rest of you get in there.
Yes, that's
And if
right.
there are any major sponsors out there,
Yeah, Tom wants us to come through. All right, let's move on to round 2. Okay, on the Thursday night, the first game again is St George Illawarra against the Cronulla Sharks at Southern Cross Group Stadium.
another local derby.
Geez, having the local derby's been good. Packed
have.
grounds everywhere. Geez, way better than Solus.
ANZ Stadium.
That's what I said. Continuing on, sorry.
Tom,
So, yes.
I'm ignoring him. What do you think?
Well, this will be tight, this one. Before last week I would have said, Sharks will edge this pretty easily. I'm actually giving the Dragons a real chance in this game.
Okay.
I think Sharks are still a classy side and the Dragons are still working themselves out. But this will be close and I'm not sure that I can pick a winner this early in the week.
Tom and his splitters. All year we're going to be hit. He's going to be sitting on the fence again all year.
Come on, pick one, Tom.
Pick one. You've
Pick
got to pick one.
On the
Pick
spot.
and stick. Come on.
Alright, Barry, I'm going for the Dragons.
I'm Dragons.
Are you really?
Absolutely.
Against the Sharks?
Absolutely. I saw enough in the Dragons, or should I say, I didn't see anything in the Sharks. So yeah, I'm on the Dragons.
Okay. I'm actually going Sharks. Sorry, Barry. Look, honestly, I don't think the Sharks can play as bad as they did last time. And being a home game, for me, convinces me that this is going to be a Sharks win. But I'll tell you, it'll
I
be
understand
close.
that. That's reasonable.
It'll be close. Thank you. It'll be close though. Okay, let's go on to Friday night's game. The first one at Allianz Stadium. Sydney Roosters against Canterbury Bulldogs. And if you think ANZ is soulless, this is even more so.
True.
Honestly, they'll get 3 people and their dog to this game.
All of their
Dog
dogs.
will be the-
They're blind. They're Roosters supporters.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what? I don't think the Roosters can play as poorly as last week. So I will be going the Roosters.
Really?
I certainly hope they lose, but I think I'll be going the Roosters.
You can't say that.
Why not?
I'm here.
Tom's right next to you.
Oh, but-
I'm thinking of my feelings.
You look. Your team is going to finish in the top 4. The poor old Dogs.
Hang on. You just said Trent Robinson's going to be sacked by the end of the year, and now you're predicting him to be top 4.
Oh, I've got splinters on sitting on the fence.
So what time's your counselling appointment?
Well, I'm just,
Counselling about him?
I'm just wondering if he actually knows what he's talking about at all.
Oh, you said a bold prediction. Yeah, look, I don't think the Roosters can play as badly as last week, and
Yep.
I'll be thinking that they should probably win this.
I'm hoping we'll get Luke Keary back, and if we do, I think that will be a huge in. Although I think the Dogs will be dangerous because they've got some real belief now, playing the premiers, and doing pretty well against them for a lot of the game. That will give them a huge amount of confidence. So
But
it's
let
going to
me
be a tight
ask,
game.
what did you think of Aaron Woods last week for the Dogs?
Oh, he was good.
Yeah, I wasn't
A bit of a new
focusing
lease
on.
of life, you
I
think?
wasn't focusing on him very much, so I don't know.
Yeah, look, you know what? The thing with Aaron Woods is, at the Tigers, statistically, he was very, very good. Like, he led meters, he led offloads, led runs made, all those little things. But when you're the only player who's doing that, you don't look so flash.
Sure.
So I thought the Dogs' pack was really good, particularly their edge players, and I thought that Woods did really well. Yeah. So maybe a new lease of life, or maybe it's just that we're seeing him in a competitive team.
Yeah. Okay. I've got to say, and it hurts, I'm going to go Roosters in this game.
Well, I hope we don't let you down.
I wouldn't be upset if you did.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
poor Tom. Come
Yeah,
on.
but hang on, I'm a South supporter.
You've got a
expects that.
red eye and a green eye, so you know.
I mean, they shouldn't even be in the competition.
And what colour am I then? Anyway, moving right along.
Constantly bloodshot. That'd be maroon and white, wouldn't it? You know?
Wow.
All right, let's move along to the second Friday night game at Suncorp Stadium. The Broncos against North Queensland.
Oh, I'm going to go the Cows.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. Will the Broncos be as bad as they were last week?
I don't think they can be better just yet.
I don't think they can be good enough to beat the Cows.
Mm-mm.
I think the Cowboys can get better. I think they were clunky last week, and they won. They won pretty close to the end. I mean, it's only a last gasp try that made them in the game.
Yeah.
Do you think, we're talking about coaches, do you think Wayne Bennett will last the season?
Yeah.
If the Broncos don't perform?
Yep.
Wayne Bennett.
He's protected species.
Yes, that's the word I was trying to
The
think.
Broncos are looking at Paul Green.
What about poor old Kenny Walters?
Oh, hang on,
He's
Paul-
coming as assistant coach.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I think Paul Green's just re-signed.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm surprised they're looking elsewhere because they've got Kevin Walters and because they got Bennett. I'm surprised, but I don't know.
You know what? I don't think the Broncos will take another chance on an untried coach. They did that with Hook, Anthony Griffiths, and
Are you thinking of Kevin Walters being an untried coach?
Yep.
In NRL.
yep,
Yeah.
he's coached State of Origin. That's 3 times a year. He hasn't done the daily grind of NRL, and I don't think the Broncos will go for an untried
And most
coach.
of us think that the Broncos, the Maroons could coach themselves.
Hell, I could have done it.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't.
I bet you I could have. Too late now. We're never going to be able to see it. The
never
big
know.
3 are gone.
Yeah,
Big
what
4.
a shame. Put your hand up next time and see how you go.
So
Okay,
what
so-
about the Cowboys?
I'm going Cowboys.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to Saturday's game. Warriors and Gold Coast Titans at Mount Smart Stadium.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think this is Warriors all over. I think I can't see the Titans playing that well again.
Oh, look, the Titans have always shown a lot of heart, and they've got
Oh,
a better
always.
coach now. But I think the Warriors, if they bring that form that they showed on the weekend, I think they should win by a few. I don't know whether that's comfortable or what, but by a few.
Okay. Brian, do you think they can do it a second week? This is the Warriors.
That's right.
And it's the first home game of the season.
Yeah.
You don't want to impress.
Yeah, look, I'm inclined to, and I hate to say this, I'm inclined to pick the Warriors.
Something's wrong here. We were actually all picking the same teams.
Well, yeah, look, that wouldn't surprise me if that was an upset either.
Okay. All right, match of the round. Let's go to Penrith Stadium, the Panthers Stadium, I should say. Penrith Panthers against South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Well, Bradley will think this is the match of the round because the Panthers are going to smash you.
No. Bradley, I think you're going to be sorely disappointed.
We're not going to all agree on this one.
Bradley, it's time.
To be honest with you, I think South won't play as badly as they did last time, and I think they'll tighten up their defence, and I think South can get this one.
I'm sure you do think that. You'd be wrong, but I'm sure you think it.
I was actually offered tickets to this game. Thank you, Matthew, by the way. I was offered tickets to sit in the members area.
All right.
Oh,
And I said, there's no way I'm going to sit in the members area, and he's not going to be there to protect me.
All right.
So, no, won't be happening.
Tom?
Oh, yeah, Panthers.
Yeah.
Brian?
Oh, Panthers. I'm sorry, Steve. Look, the Panthers have just got, from 1 to 13, actually 1 to 17, they're all classy.
Yeah.
So I think you're in for a real run.
Okay. And I'll prove you wrong next week. Okay. The next game after that, Melbourne Storm against the West Tigers at Amy Park.
Storm will be coming the Broncos. They've got another Saturday night game.
Yeah.
Storm.
Yeah, Storm. But I think the West Tigers will play a bit like the Dogs played. And I think they'll actually make the Storm work for this.
Do you guys think the Storm missed Cooper Cronk?
Too early to say.
Croft was found out in defence a bit.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah, but let's face it. If Billy Slater's back, that puts Cameron Munster back into the halves as well. I can't see them losing down there.
They just don't have an Achilles heel, do they? That's the problem.
No.
Yeah, and the Tigers won't do to the Storm what the Dogs did. The Dogs played them out wide with their big back rowers, and I don't think the Tigers have got the team to do that.
Okay. All right, let's move on to Sunday's game. The first game on the afternoon at Lottoland. Lottoland.
Brookie, go Brookie.
Is Manly Sea Eagles against the Parramatta Eagles.
We'll thump those slimy Eels.
Are you looking at the camera when you say
We'll thump those slimy Eels.
you got Eels friends?
Thank you. Oh yeah, heaps of them.
There you go. Did I watch this? If not, you're going to make them?
Yeah, sure. I'll send them.
Just when you see them, just go watch it so you can see how I see you'll thump those my Eels.
Slimy
Eels.
So this week, we'll have Steve and Nige and Colin and all those other Parramatta supporters be after me.
You haven't set yourself up for anything, have you?
No.
Not
Oh, don't worry. I bag them all week on Facebook anyway. They know it's coming.
Okay.
And don't worry, if they win, they'll give it back. Because you see, this is Parramatta's grand final.
How do you work that out?
Parramatta supporters, it doesn't matter if they have a terrible year as long as they beat Manly. That is in their heads. That is what they think. Right?
All right.
Parramatta finished dead last, get the wooden spoon, and they still go, we beat Manly.
So I take it you're going for Manly.
Of course.
Okay, at Lottoland.
At Brookvale, yes.
Lottoland.
Brookvale.
Honestly, is it still standing after all these years? Tom?
I think that the Eels will pick themselves up off the floor, and I think they will be winning.
Haters. They're all haters.
Oh,
So I can't have an opinion there. I can't have an opinion.
Yeah.
I'm just a hater as soon as I go.
Yeah, but
go
you know what? When
against
it
this
comes to Manly, I think we are. No, I'm going Eels as well.
Oh, I can feel the hate coming across
Excuse
now.
me, I didn't have a problem when you both said that South were going to get beaten by Penrith.
Because Penrith
was
played
fair.
well last week and Souths were terrible.
This is a difficult round to tip, I've got to say.
Well, we're all agreeing.
No, but
Except
that
for the
doesn't mean we're
two
right.
games. That never happens.
And I'm starting to worry if you're agreeing with me.
Don't worry, I'm scared too.
Okay.
So,
You two finished?
Yeah.
So
Let's-
you're going Eels?
I'm going Eels.
Okay. All right.
Haters.
Let's move on to GIO Stadium down in Canberra, where the Canberra Raiders are taking on the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah. Because of because of the way these two teams played, it's just hard to tell. You know, Knights are coming from 3 wooden spoons, but had a terrific game. Raiders are a better rated team, but played woeful.
Yep.
You know, played good for 10 minutes. They're at home. They're going to get a rev up this week. Look, I'm tempted to tip the Knights here. Again, by a very, very small margin.
So am I, but I
Very
don't
small
think I
margin.
can.
No, I'll be on the Raiders
Yeah.
at home.
Again, it's a home game.
Yeah, 6:30 on a Sunday night in Canberra.
And I think Ricky Stewart will really hammer them for being up 18-0 after 12 minutes
Yes.
and losing a game.
Has that made a
Absolutely.
difference last year when he did that?
It did the year before.
Yeah, that's 2 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
My maths is
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really missing Hodgson. Hodgson? They put up?
Hodgson. Yeah.
Hodgkinson.
Although we've got to say, Habili played pretty well.
Yeah, still.
He was pretty good.
Look, I thought they all played reasonably well. I just think they're going to step up. I think the Raiders will step up.
It's pity they couldn't keep Baptiste, but no, we've got him out.
Sold into the wound. Sugars, get into it.
Honestly. Okay, gentlemen, we've actually come to an end of our show, but last comments, anything you want to say?
Oh, just go the Mighty Eagles.
Anything serious you want to say?
We'll thump Parramatta.
Alright, I'm not talking about Tom,
I've yet to see the potential of my team, so I'm hoping this week it'll be it.
Probably
you're hoping to
won't.
see some potential.
Yeah,
Because
didn't
they ain't
see it
got it
last
now.
week. Didn't see it last week.
Okay, well, I got to say, I'll be with you. I'm hoping to see some potential out of mine as well. Because I tell you what, I didn't see a lot last week. And I really hope Greg Inglis can find some confidence because he's struggling at the moment.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
Okay, you're watching NRL from the Sidelines, and this is Tom, Brian, and Steve. Please go to our Facebook page and let us know what you think of the show. Let us know if you have any comments about what teams are going to win. You can list your own teams there if you like.
You could even comment about Blake Green and how I'm right.
And tell us what you think of our sign.
Why?
That's because it's nice.
It's nice. Okay. All right. Thank you all for watching. Have a great week, and gentlemen, we'll do it all again next week.
We will.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.